It is not news to anyone who has been keeping tabs on everything that has been happening in the crypto space that the market is generally underperforming. One major win from the successful Ethereum merge can only do so much to elevate the situation, and the market has been taking some serious blows to the incessant increases in inflation rates and the economic recession that has been driving the whole world into a constant state of struggle. With all these things happening, are we finally at the rock bottom and ready to get the value of crypto bounce back? Thank you for watching Diversified Streams, your go-to YouTube channel for all things crypto and finance. Be sure to check out our community post about these subjects. We are curious to know your opinions on these matters. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest news and tips related to crypto. And make sure to keep your notifications on so you'll be updated with our latest videos. We frequently post so you wouldn't want to miss them. In today's video, we will be talking about the risks accompanied by the current conditions in the market. We've always talked about risk rewards in crypto, and how being far deep into all of it would eventually lead to a major bounce, and realized gains far substantial that we have lost. We will also be featuring some input from the big man of crypto himself, Raoul Pal, so this is something you do not want to miss. Unless you are living under a rock, you know that Bitcoin has been struggling to make its prices ideal for the investors. At present, the coin is trading at a value lower than $20,000, and it may be due to the continuous increase in global inflation rates. While the asset's brand is more on being a coin that's stable even when these things happen, Bitcoin can only do so much to keep things regulated before they get hit as well. It has lost 9% of its price since last week, and right now, it is standing at $19,100. Ethereum, the second best asset in the industry, which had recently successfully transitioned from proof of work to proof of stake, is down by 6% of its price, currently trading at $1,335. If the two biggest assets are exhibiting this downfall, you might be telling yourself, if this is how things look for the most successful coins, then it's much worse for others. Well, it wouldn't be entirely irrational to think of you this way as the doubt creeps in, even in the most experienced traders. But if it is any consolation, Raoul Pal and then Morehead both believe that if anything, this is a good time to be staying in the market and continue trading. Red flags are everywhere, and it is difficult to maintain a positive mindset, but these two giants believe that we are still on the right path towards a major bounce in the price of crypto in the future. To give you an idea of what they think, here's a snippet of their interview.
It's crypto as well now. So how does this macro framework, which sounds like either inflationary or a certain amount of monetary tightness that we're not used to, how does that work in the crypto market? How does that flow through?
Yeah, so when the Fed and the Congress started printing just, insane amounts of money, I will admit I had my pom-poms and I was like, this is awesome for Bitcoin. You gotta own Bitcoin. And, Bitcoin's at 3,000 or whatever at the time, to 60,000. So huge fan of that story. So some people say, well, it's totally counterintuitive. If they're going the other way now, that's going to be horrible for crypto. And I really, although admittedly I was hugely positive on Bitcoin because they were printing tons of money, they've already printed all that money. It's out there, right? There's 9 trillion of bonds that have been printed and out there. And that money's not going away, probably, right? Like, I don't think they're going to sell all those bonds and take all that money out of the system. I actually think they should, but I just don't think they will. So all the money's already out there. So it will still keep sloshing around and generating inflation. And there's this huge debate right now, is Bitcoin really a good inflation hedge or not? We don't know because we haven't had inflation for 15 years, right? We're going to find out. I actually think we're going to find out it is a great inflation hedge, that when people are worried about the currency being debased 10% a year, they'll start looking for alternatives. And that used to be countries like Argentina or Venezuela or whatever. Now it's going to be American citizens. It's going to be British citizens. It's going to be Europeans. All are going to be looking for ways to get protected on the debasement of their currency. And although recently crypto has been highly correlated with risk assets like the S&P, I'm betting that it's going to break down, that there are going to be more people going, if rates do keep rising for the next 2 or 3 years, I don't want to own bonds, definitely. Probably don't want to own stocks. The Fed really has to get real estate to go down before inflation stops. So I got to get out of real estate. Crypto and gold and soft commodities, kind of the only things left, or art, maybe, intellectual property. There's a few things that are kind of different from rates, but not many. And so I think, crypto being one of the biggest and most interesting, we'll start to get the marginal dollar being allocated to crypto.
It's also an interesting point in time. I'm actually expecting a faster slowdown, and actually I think rates back off. But either way, we're kind of record oversold versus every metric for the space. Let's say it goes down another 30%, 40%, 50%. Let's say use 50% for easy maths, because that's the kind of moves crypto does when it feels like it. The upside is 10x from here, at least. So the risk reward at these levels becomes ludicrous, which people don't understand. These network adoption models, whenever you're kind of dramatically oversold, your risk reward explodes in ways that doesn't exist elsewhere. How are you thinking through this?
Well, you mentioned drinking some wine, but I think we're drinking the same Kool-Aid, because I totally agree that crypto's gone through these wild cycles, as you know. And sometimes it is kind of bubbly and overbought, and sometimes it's really inexpensive. And I literally think right now is the most compelling, even value-oriented time I've seen in 10 years of doing this, right? There were some times it was the same price as it is today, but we were 4 or 5 years back in history with, hundreds of millions less using it and, all that stuff. And so I think given that we've had a 75% fall in Bitcoin, 80, 90, and some of the other things, we're really at incredibly cheap levels. And a couple of metrics on that. We've never had a period that Bitcoin's at the same price it was 4.5 years ago before. It is. So it's right where it was in 2017. And I got to tell you, nothing is built out in 2017 as it is today, right? We have so much more stuff happening, so many more people using it, all that. So just on a fundamental basis, it's better than it used to be, back in that era. And just a great metric for how cheap things have become. All of DeFi, $8 billion. That's crazy, right? We can complain about, about DeFi is only people speculating. To be only $8 billion when the legacy financial industry is $2 trillion is just cheap. And like you said, it's very asymmetric, right? Say you buy all of DeFi and you pay $8 billion, right? You can only be down $8 billion. You might be up, 10, 20x on that. And I really do think we're at that level. We're so inexpensive on most tokens that the risk reward is fantastic. Obviously, it could keep going down. It could go down for another year or whatever. But it just doesn't feel like when you do an expected value type calculation, you can't, it just seems like you're going to come up with a great time to be invested.
Morehead and Pal prefaced their talk by discussing the possibility of Bitcoin being an effective inflation hedge. And while we are yet to see if it really is, they are positive that it must be despite the struggles it is currently facing. Where do your thoughts lie in this discussion, guys? Do you think that Bitcoin still owns this possibility? Or is it enough that we're seeing the coin crashing amid the inflation to reject the idea that it could be a safe space for harsh financial conditions? Let us know what you think by leaving a comment below this video. And while you're at it, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you'll be a part of our community. What makes Pal and Morehead believe that we are still on the right track to experiencing a major bounce back that will end this bear market is the historical data that proves Bitcoin has gone at values even lower than the one we are seeing now. And Bitcoin, being the best that it is, has shown some excellent behavior through the years in overcoming these lows. Morehead also adds that the whole DeFi industry is priced only at $8 billion, and even if you were to put all your money into it and potentially lose the same amount of money, you will eventually get a return that is way more than $8 billion. The risk-reward ratio for Bitcoin and the whole of crypto is truly amazing that even if we'll see a crash in 70% of the asset's price anytime today, these giants are positive that it will be an easy redemption and will lay the groundwork for more stable prices in the market. It is the classic redemption story we see in Bitcoin, and Morehead and Pal have a consensus when they say that we are most likely bound to see it happen again. They also stress that amid the tumult and doubts investors are exhibiting on the so-called crashes in Bitcoin and Ethereum, it is actually the most optimal time to be buying assets and trading them. What we are seeing here is two of the most widely known and active traders in the crypto industry telling you to debunk these myths about holding and selling your assets at the wrong time. And just have faith that even if we are way too long on this bear market, past 8 months specifically, it will still be the best for us traders to hold it for a little while, stay and observe, and just really wait until the price of Bitcoin reaches its real bottom. When that happens, have your wine and glasses ready because we are on our way to bouncing out of this bottom and realizing gains greater than we have lost. So practice your pain tolerance in crypto and train until you develop some type of resistance against these crashes, and the fruit of your labor will come in the form of massive gains and major price valuations. And that is it for today's video. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. As always, if you did, please show us some love and support by giving this video a big thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. And make sure to keep your notifications on so you will be updated whenever we post new videos on all things related to crypto. This has been Diversified Streams. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you in our next video.